Hey, I'm going to a concert later. What's up? It's the Culture Detective here investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be doing an extremely fast paced mini albums review video where I just review a bunch of albums at once. Starting off, it's Charli XCX with Brat, and it's completely different, but it's still also Brat. This is a remix album of Charli XCX extremely popular, famous, successful, explosions, many wow album Brat. In fact, a lot of Charli XCX fans only know about Brat and not any other music that she put out before that, which is kind of sad. But I am happy for her. Brat is a good album. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's a masterpiece, but I think it's really good and definitely one of the better pop albums of the year. Now, this remix album here I thought was okay for the most part. I don't think it's as good as Brat, the original one, actually, but some of the remixes are fantastic. Case in point, Girl So Confusing with Lorde. This is amazing because Girl So Confusing is a song where Charli talks about another girl who has similar hair and similar musical style, but more successful, and how she tried to reach out and didn't get any response, and how she feels a little jealous, she feels a little tension, and that girl turns out to be Lorde herself. And then Lorde hops onto the song and sings a verse in response, showing her side of the story, revealing that she herself can be insecure as well, which is amazing to see unfold in musical form, and it's so wholesome and heartwarming. It's amazing. Talk Talk featuring Troye Sivan. Really good track here, one of my favorites. Troye Sivan's vocals are really playful, but I love the piano tinged house beats and the pumping dance beats. They're just fantastic. Following that, we have Guess featuring Billie Eilish, which I think is not a bad song at all. It's a sexy party little banger, and it's a banger. It slaps. Spring Breakers featuring Kesha is a new ending to the album, and I also kind of liked it. I like the grinding industrial tones. Mean Girls with Julian Casablancas of The Strokes fame is hilarious because the track is a cheeky song about mean girls, yet Julian Casablancas decided to croon and cry all over the track, singing about how it's all my fault. I gave you everything you loved and took it all away. Pretty much meditating on his relationship troubles. I believe he went through a divorce or something. I might be wrong, but definitely hilarious to see how he added to the narrative of the song. 365 featuring Shy Girl is even better than before, in my opinion. It's an industrial raging banger. It's amazing. Everything else is kind of decent. I think Everything is Romantic is more or less the same as before. Caroline Polachek has great chemistry with Charli XCX, but doesn't really add that much to the album. B2B back to back with Tinashe. Again, there's a lot of narrative extension here. We have both singers singing about dealing with fame. This whole track, however, feels sped up from the original track. I don't know why. Rewind features Blade, and I feel like this track becomes like a cloud rap track simply because of Blade's inclusion. So, in a way, it sounds like two genres fighting each other. Sympathy's a Knife with Ariana Grande sees the two of them singing about hate and feedback, negative feedback, the audience. At some point, the vocals become a little bit all over the place. Apple with Japanese House. Again, I feel like the vocals, the way they're layered, is a little too much. And also, Von Dutch remix, Addison Rae sounds awful. She sounds terrible. But overall, this is really good. Overall, most of the tracks are surprisingly good. And some duds here and there, but in general, good. Feeling a 7 out of 10 on this album. Okay, after that, Jamie XX in Waves. So Jamie XX, electronic producer, he's responsible for a lot of danceable, catchy bangers, and now he's back with a new album. Fancy album cover, loving it. Baddie on the Floor. Love this track. I love the explosive, colorful horns, the playful and fun pianos, the shuffling drums. The whole track quiets down, it explodes, it quiets down, it explodes again. It's a roller coaster ride. Again, the pianos. Bum, 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 bum. It's just very fun. And the explosive horns return on Life featuring Robin. Can't go wrong with Robin. There's a more urban modernist vibe to this track, and it's almost like a remix of a superhero theme, which is pretty cool. All You Children featuring the Avalanches. Can't go wrong with the Avalanches. I love the busy dance beats, the moody steel drums on the track add so much, and the children's vocals are fantastic. Breather is a multifaceted epic with so many different sections, which is great as well. Some other tracks on the album are more pedestrian, more by the numbers, like Daffodil, which has a lot of vocal samples and guest features, but they all smash together and it's so incoherent. The feeling I get from You sounds like it's building towards something, but it never really reaches that something. The whole track sounds muffled, and Falling Together, the album ending, I just feel like it's a very underwhelming and unambitious ending for the album. Yeah, feeling a 7 out of 10. Do I have time? Okay, one more review and then I'll leave. Toriena Kengai. So Toriena is a Japanese electronic producer, artist, singer, and she's responsible for some of the most aggressive, adrenaline-pumping EDM in Japan I've listened to. But on this new album, she basically tries everything from breakcore to shoegaze. The track Moral, the vocals are so weak and messy, it does not complement the fashionable trap beat at all. The track also comes off brief. And then Unconscious Bias sees her trying shoegaze, and it's like average, kind of basic. The track Dominant sees the features atmospheric EDM with drony keys. Everything is drenched in reverb to the point where it's so muddy I can't really discern anything from each other. So very much this album is like a mixtape where Toriena just tries a bit of everything. End of the World is a nightcore drum and bass track. There's a good chord progression in there somewhere, but the whole track is just drenched with reverb and sound effects that the mixing is just so muddy. And she also tries her hands on rock music on tracks like Arm in Arm, Buster, and Emily, where again the mixing kind of ruins the track and the instrumentals are just too average. There's a track here called CA90226, which my ass, my Los Angeles living ass, immediately thought of the zip code, and this track very much might be a reference to Manhattan Beach. I looked it up. It's the same zip code. And CA, Californian, yeah. The album ending is surprisingly the best track here in my opinion. Safety Zone with the harsh break beats and the weird reverse tones. It's definitely one of the more creative ways to end the album. Not too bad of an album, but definitely very underwhelming at the same time. Feeling a light 6 on this thing. Yes, I gotta go now. Bye-bye. Continue later. Okay, screw it. It's all or nothing. I'm gonna continue the review super fast. Blu Exile new album. Love the Ominous World. Blu Exile, they are an amazing duo. Their album Miles, fantastic. Essentially, this album is meat and potatoes West Coast hip-hop with solid flows, disc scratches, you know what I'm talking about. However, this album is just more of the same that the duo has put out in the last many years, and I feel like a lot of the tracks here are slightly less interesting than their output in the last few years. But there are still highlights here and there, like Smack, with its warm and relaxing xylophones. It's jazzy and fun. I love the switch to the moody second half. Gold, I love the dreamy quality to the chord progression, and the auto-tune vocals at the end is the perfect release of the tension that is being built up in the first part of the track. The title track, The Ominous World, is amazing. I love the ominous and grimy and bouncy production of the track. Lyrically, it's about the apocalypse, it's about explosions, people dying, suffering. And following that, a song called Precipitation is a song about rain. So yeah, really interesting stuff. I wish I have more time to talk about this album. Strong 7. Then, finally, we have a new EP from K-pop girl group Illit. Yeah, a bit of a controversial one here. Their new EP is called I'll Like You. And as expected, magnetic. you know, do, 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 it is magnetic, do, 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 do. That one, it's a one-hit wonder because every track between their last EP and this one are incredibly boring. And this group is nowhere near as creative or as interesting as New Jeans at all. Even their dances pale in comparison. And yeah, it's a very tiring comparison, but with the ongoing insane legal drama that is swept up between Hybe and Ador and also New Jeans ex-CEO Min Hye-jin being booted off the company, and how she accused Illit of copying New Jeans, or the team behind Illit. There is a lot of drama here that I feel like I don't know enough about, and I'm not ready to unfold the stuff I know about. But anyways, just from the music here, Illit, nowhere near as interesting as New Jeans. Just 10 times less interesting. The album opener, I'll Like You, is a bright summery song over micro house beats. Not catchy at all, and the alright okay okay okay, it's not a catchy chorus. Cherish My Love, I don't know why, but like these songwriters are trying to force these kids into mature low register vocal ranges, and it really didn't work. All that happens on top of a really basic 4/4 beat with some soft synths in the back. If you know, you know. The chorus is straight up annoying. It's IYKYK, IYKYK, IY. It's like an, it's like a parrot. Tic Tac is the best track here, but that's not much either. I like how the track leans towards super sugary and lovey-dovey, but otherwise this album is a bore. Feeling a 5 out of 10. So have you listened to these albums? Comments below, let me know if you want more, and thanks for watching. Gotta go right now. Bye bye.